welcome to the Nasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Thank you for joining me again. Good to be here again. So, if you want to call into the show, 708-223-8953, go ahead and give us a call. And for those who are already calling in, I really do appreciate the love. Thank you for joining us for the last show. Again, a lot of people are wondering, hey, what's this show about? It's all about, the positive things that we can convey to one another, allowing a platform to be available for those who want to talk about their small businesses, talk about things that are going on in the community, talk about things that are going on in your life, whether it's social, civil in some type of way. What are you involved in? Are you involved in the politics of it all? Are you involved in, what's going on in your community? Certain things about your household, things you want to share, things that you have concerns about, you're always welcome to give us a call here on the Nasha Harrison Show. And today's show, again, is brought to you by Up and Going. And that's owned by Anthony McMath. And, of course, the number is 219-200-2400, where they're doing great things with their expansions. They're doing great things concerning serving the community, one piece of clothing at a time, whether it's that suit, that shirt, or apparel of some type. Whether it's banquet hall type stuff, they got you covered. I was in a store the other day, and one of the brothers walked in the store, and he had the most shaggiest looking hat that I've probably seen in a long time. It looked pretty warm, but it looked like it needed some love. Right there on the spot. I think I was in a hardware store picking up some things, but right there on the spot, I said, "Hold up, wait. Hey, I need to give you this number right now. I'm not going to take your hat from you. I don't know you. You just met me, but I need to give somebody a call about what you got on top of your head, because if you love it that much and if it's keeping you that warm, but it looks like that, we want you to keep it for as long as you can. So let's go ahead and get some service to that hat." So truly, I'm not making this up. He called 219-200-2400. The three of us were having that conversation right there on the spot. And I'm hoping that, Anthony gained another customer. So put your trust in Up and Going as far as your cleaning services. They do a very professional job, and I'm happy that I'm affiliated with them. This show is also brought to you by Shy Cali Cuts. Shy Cali Cuts, I know I've said that earlier on in the shows. I talked a little bit about Shy Cali Cuts. Again, Shy Cali Cuts, Chicago, California. That's kind of where the name comes from, and they're affiliated with a lot of barbershops out on the West Coast, a lot of beauty schools, colleges on the West Coast, doing a lot of wonderful things, providing a lot of opportunities for a lot of people. So check out Shy Cali Cuts if you're ever out in Cali, and of course, go ahead and patronize Up and Going Cleaners. So especially in the northern Indiana areas, the Southland. And they're expanding West Side, downtown, things of that nature. So check them out. So I am happy to be here again, as I said, thankful for this platform, as I've said many times. And we're going to take a couple of calls and then keep it rolling right here on the Nasha Harrison Show. Hello, caller. Give me your name and tell me where you're calling from.
My name is Bill. I'm calling from Joliet, Illinois.
Okay. How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing well. I just want to get a call in and a shout out to Mr. Anthony McMahon for Up and Going dry cleaning. He done a wonderful job for me out here in Joliet, and keep up the good work, brother.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. And hey, Anthony's getting a lot of calls in. Thank you for the call, and continue to listen to the show.
All right. Bless you.
Be safe. Thank you. Well, again, people are calling about something that they're happy with. And, we want to focus on small business, whether it's a cleaners or a barbershop, whether it's something that you have you might have an idea about something that could be helpful in the community. Let's talk about it. Obviously, you're getting a lot of information about one of the sponsors here. You do have sponsor opportunities here on the Nasha Harrison Show. Again, 708-223-8953. You're always welcome to give us a call and talk about it. See how you can sponsor the show. You're welcome to come in and talk about the things that are near and dear to your heart on Intellectual Radio, iHeart affiliate. So let's get into what we're going to be talking about today. I have a young lady coming on who will be talking about her business. We're going to take a break in a few, not right now, but we're going to take a break. And when we take a break, we'll come back and she'll talk about the type of business that she's doing, what her experiences have been with the business, getting into it. I'll let her tell you what the business is all about when she comes here on the show. Uh, before I get more into that, I just like to say to everybody that's out there, thank you for all of the support for the show, support outside of the show. Uh, 2024 is not brand new and totally different from 2023 simply because the years have changed. It's not up to the time to tick to be different from the time that has passed. It's up to us to make a difference in 2024. It was up to us to make a difference in 2023. And Lord willing, we'll be here beyond 2024, 2025, so on and so forth. Here's my point. Don't look for time to pass to change a situation that only you can change within that time. Don't look for time to pass to change a situation that only you can change within time. So it's up to you. It's up to what you choose to do, the type of plan that you put your hand forward to make moves happen. You don't have to wait until 2025, 2026 to get started. Now, you might have to wait for some things to come around or come about. There might be a plan that's a 2-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan, or what have you. But don't expect that just because it's a new year that you're not going to have a whole lot of problems, a whole lot of conditions, and that situations are going to all of a sudden change because it's a new year, because January 1st has came and gone. We're already close to the middle of the month. You got to ask yourself, what is it that you want to see different in your life and in the lives of others that you are an influence for? What is it that you want to see? Have you really sat down? Have you taken the time to be still, to sit down, to figure it out? And when I talk to you, I'm also talking to myself. How many times do we say we need more time to figure some things out that's most important to us, most dear to us? How long do we put the phone down to actually pick the pen up to put to the paper about the plans that we need to move forward with? So I want to encourage each and every one of you to think about it. Think about what is it that is going to cause change and effect in your life for 2024 and beyond. Okay. So we're going to take a quick break here on the Nasha Harrison Show, and we'll be right back here on Intellectual Radio. And thank you for joining me.
Don't wanna let it go. Echo, don't wanna let you go. Echo, don't wanna let you go. Echo, 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 don't wanna let it go. Echo, don't wanna let you go. Echo, don't wanna let you go. Echo, echo. I must admit, girl, I'm nervous. It's kinda hard to determine, but I don't care, girl, I'm all in, all in, all in. I stand where you can see me. No playing, girl, believe me. I mean it. Echo, don't wanna let it go. Echo, don't wanna let you go. Echo, don't wanna let you go. Echo, 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 don't wanna let it go. Echo, don't wanna let you go. Echo, don't wanna let you go. Echo, echo. You're telling me that you're nervous. Will it last? No discernment. But you don't care, cause you're all in. I'm all in. We all stand where you can see me through ups and downs. Believe me, not moving, believing. I'm not gonna leave. Echo, don't let it go. Echo, don't let you go. Echo, don't let you go. Echo, don't let it go. No. Echo, don't let you go. Echo, don't let you go. Echo, don't let it go. Echo, don't let you go. Echo, don't let you go. Echo, I'm not echo. Echo, don't let it go. Echo, don't let you go. Echo, don't let you go. Echo, gonna let you go. No.
Got enough money to buy my soul, ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This the matrix, I'm Neo. I know that I know I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium rebel. After that federal dollar. Balanced the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers will follow me to war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block running from the police at war. In the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With the problems in my own community and the sword. It's the only way to fight an enemy. Lord, save my father from this bottom to Hennessy. What more can I give? I'm giving all of me. And for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe. And there's only one remedy. I gotta be smarter than my enemies.
In the water. Wade in the water, children, now wade in the water. God's in trouble.
I'm being chased by demons, the triple team, exposed to false religions. I'm hated by jealous niggas that don't wanna see me living my life scarred from living hope. Pulling up papers, I'm chasing paper, no holds barred. Peace of mind, and yet to find my heart's cold. Got the friends, my last road dog turned me in. The cost of war would never change. Who takes the blame for bad decisions? So many missing from following orders. This ill giving got the world tripping. They pushing prison at us young niggas. That's why we haven't had triggers. Won't let the war get us. I'm not alone, but the way that I feel is like millions out the clutching this steel, roaming the field. I am what I am, and best believe I'm following me. A guinea pig, I refuse to be. The streets got a hold on so many lost souls. It's old. I pray to God he starts letting me go. No, I'm not a fool, and I'm definitely not following rules. Hoping that the Lord pulls me through.
When I'm at the gates, standing before Christ, and he's flipping through the pages in the book of life. Final judgments being made, as he look in my eyes. All I can vision is the wrong that I've done in my life. Close my eyes as I look back at the sky, the puzzle pieces. Demons to try to stop me, and all I wanted was freedom, better living for my people. Did you ever hear my cry? In my mind, I never understood why we were born to die. Die.
Wade in the water, children, now wade in the water. God's on the trouble, water.
This one is suicide. I used to think with a pistol. Now I know the war's meant to bullets can't fight these issues. Nothing's clear, it's all static. Possible jail time if I load this automatic. Black folks about to expire. We yelling democratic, we unify. That's why you see passion in my eyes. I'm still at it. We should devise a real plan. Barter votes to the party that's giving us farmland. It's all about the money, right? Man, I tell you, they try to charge you for sunlight. This ain't a dream. I say you no lies. All I can knowledge is only put us further behind. If we don't know who we are, how can we see the vision before we die? All my cousin wanted was better living. He didn't find it. All he found was Hell's Kitchen. Underground and his kids missing. A real sickness to lose another real nigga. To the traps of the streets. And they wonder how we cope with these tragedies. Boxing with the devil. We've been fighting all my life. I was raised in the ghetto. We the children of the night. Oh God, Can you help us? We are
Welcome
pushing
back to
the
the
lights.
Nasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Thank you for your patience. I am so happy to be back with you, and I'm very excited to introduce my next guest on the show. As a matter of fact, I'll let her introduce herself. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Good. Tell the people who you are and tell them about your business.
Hi, my name is Alicia Harrison. I own a baby boutique. It's called Apple of My Eye.
Speak up a little bit. There you go.
It's called Apple of My Eye Boutique. I'm on Facebook, and yeah, my age. I'm
No,
34.
you ain't got to tell all
Okay.
that, cousin. You ain't got to tell all that. So, first of all, this is my cousin.
hmm
Right? She put it out there, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll with it. My cousin's got a wonderful boutique business that she has going on, and if you can't put your family on, then what are you really doing, right? So we had a conversation early. Take a breath, breathe, and then let it out. She found out not too long ago that I was coming on the show tonight, and I said, you know what? Why don't you come on and join us on the radio show? Talk about your business. So, how long have you been doing your business?
I started in 2014. I had to change some things, go back to the drawing board. Um, change the name. I had to do a lot of things, but now I'm here, and hopefully, it's gonna take off.
So, when you say you had to uh, go back to the drawing board, when you initially started your business, and when was it? 2000
14.
in 2014. Before you started to get into the how tos or trying to figure it out, what gave you the idea for your business? Why a boutique?
Well, I always wanted to be a fashion designer. I went to school at Northern, so when I was in college, this particular gentleman that I bumped into, he started giving me an idea that what he was doing and how he was doing his own thing, and I was really inspired. So I was like, what do I really want to do? And I know I wanted to do fashion, so that's how I got into it.
And when you say you had to go back to the drawing board, were there bumps in the road along the way, a couple of
Absolutely.
hiccups? Can you speak a little bit about that?
Um, when you first starting out, you always like bump into like brick roads and stuff like that. You figuring things out because you necessarily don't have like a mentor to guide you on what to do and what not to do. So you're gonna be going back to the drawing board a lot to think about new strategies, how to get you to point A to point B.
So initially, when you started, you jumped all in,
hmm
but you still had some things to learn.
Yes.
And so, why didn't you just quit? Why didn't you just say, you know what, I'm good. I don't want to do this. Why didn't you just pack up and stop?
I mean, because if it's your passion, you can do it for nothing, you know? Like it's just something that makes you happy, something that you see yourself doing like forever. And yeah, it's my passion, so I don't mind keep going and keep pushing and keep doing what I do. So
So, passion for you is fashion. Fashion is your
yes,
passion.
absolutely.
Okay. No, I didn't try to make that
I know
rhyme,
you
right?
you
It
did
just
right.
it kind of went there. So, with fashion being your passion, uh, although you've had those bumps in the road,
Mhm.
right now with the business being where it is, do you feel like 2024 is going to be better than 2023? What's your continued trajectory forward for your fashion business?
Pretty much just marketing, and I have a website now, so that's something I didn't have before. I actually have merchandise, and I plan on going back to school for sewing, like just a trade or something like that, to produce my own clothes. So we'll see what happens, but even sitting here today is an opportunity, and something I didn't have last year. So,
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the website. Where can we find your fashion line? Give the people some information about your website, phone numbers, names, contacts, things of that nature.
the website is appleofmyeyeboutique.com. I'm on Facebook as well. If you cannot find Apple of My Eye, you can always look at under me as Alicia Harrison. It's spelled Aleesha Harrison. And my page is connected to my business page.
Okay. Well, we're going to do that a couple of times before the end of the show.
Okay.
I'm glad that you were able to actually make it. And again, as I said earlier, we talked about it a few hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And um, not to be too specific where you live and where we live, but you don't live right around the corner from where we are right now.
No, I do
So,
not.
she had to make the choice. I said, hey, listen, you don't have to come out. And she was like, no, I'm gonna come out. I'm like, well, I don't want to feel bad asking you to come out to hit the show, but I'm glad that you did make it out on the show. And I'm looking forward to not only talking a little bit more about the boutique, but we're gonna talk about some other stuff like where you grew up at, where we grew up at,
Okay.
how the differences are between when you were coming up. We're gonna shout out Cleveland and Mohawk.
Okay.
For those who already know, Cabrini Greens, right?
Yeah.
Chicago Avenue.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about that because
Okay.
we're gonna keep things positive on the Nasha Harrison show, but we're gonna talk about the inspirations that we share in our lives with the people who are very influential, and making sure that we stayed above ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be right back here on the Nasha Harrison Show on Intellectual Radio. And again, 708-223-8953.
You ain't got enough money to buy my soul. Ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This dimension's a Neo. I know that I know. I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope. I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium rebel. After that federal dollar. Balance the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers will follow. We at war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block running from the police at war. In the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With the problems in my own community and the swore. And the only way to fight an enemy, Lord, save my father from this bottom to Hennessy. With more can I give? I'm giving. Let me in for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe. And there's only one remedy. I gotta be smarter than my enemies.
Wade in the water, children, now wade in the water. God's in trouble.
I'm being chased by demons that triple team, exposed to false religions. I'm hated by jealous niggas that don't want to see me living my life scar from living hope.
Welcome back to the Nasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Again, 708-223-8953. I am here with Cuzzo.
Hi.
How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I meant to say that.
Hey, I'm glad that you were able to make it. And before we went to the break, if you're just joining us, we were talking about her boutique line. Tell the people a little bit more about your boutique line, and then we're going to get into some other things about where we kind of grew up at.
Okay. Well, I have a baby boutique, and I started in 2014. And yeah, I had to change some things around, but I'm here. So.
Okay. Give the people your name.
My name is Alicia Harrison.
My bad.
My cousin over here.
Right. So, before when we went to the break, before we went to the break, we said that we were going to talk about a little bit about growing up in the Greens. So, I grew up on the west side, and I was between the west side of Chicago, Cicero and Lake, Maypole area, Washington, Lamont, Madison. But I also split time off of Chicago Avenue, Cleveland, Mohawk, known as the Cabrini Green Projects, where my grandmother and grandfather lived. So I was in between both places. You were just a little baby
Yes.
growing up there.
Hmm.
But I wanted to talk a little bit about Thomas and Samancy.
Okay.
So, our grandmother and grandfather.
Absolutely.
So, although you were as small as you were, tell me what you remember most about our grandparents.
Um. Well, so Nancy was very in the Bible, like constantly. She taught me how to pray. Um, she taught me about God. She taught me everything I know about God, actually. Um, and I still take those methods on today. When I'm in hard times, or um, I'm just down, or I'm hurting, I go straight to God, and that's because of her.
Do you feel like her guidance helped you beyond where we grew up at?
Absolutely. I feel like she was the first root of my tree, if that makes sense. Like she actually, it was the beginning of her molding who I am.
She was the root.
Yes.
Do you remember much about grandfather?
Actually, I do not.
Uh,
I don't think I ever met him.
really?
Actually, yeah,
So he passed along before you were old enough.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he was very quiet, stoic, patient.
Mm,
Um, in our household,
yeah.
you have to be. You know how the men in our family are, and how the women in our family are. So,
Yes.
and we're
Yes.
not gonna put all that out there on intellectual radio, but you have to have some patience. And
Mm,
I appreciate growing up in the place like Cabrini Green at the time because it changed from the time I was introduced to it and to the time where we call it Medea,
mm-hmm.
when Medea ended up moving out of Cabrini Green. And I think we had some questions about Cabrini Green. I know a couple of people had a couple of questions about it. Um, if Cabrini Green um, could still be here today, um, if it was worth saving, I think that was the question.
Yeah.
So I believe, me personally, I believe that first of all, when I grew up, when I started growing up in that area, there were no, remember the big wrought iron fences
Mm-hmm.
that were up. When I first uh, started going over to Medea's, there were no fences.
Yeah.
It was wide open. Um, there was a sense of community,
Mm-hmm.
like when I grew up on the west side
Mm-hmm.
for Cicero and Lake. Miss Ross was on the corner, Miss Sadie was on the other corner. The Burrells were there, uh, and so you had to respect everybody from the time you were coming off of Cicero, going down Maypole, make that right on Lamont. You might have stopped three, four, or five times. It was funny because we used to try to avoid Miss Ross because Miss Ross would talk to us longer than anybody. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a catch-22. If we had to be somewhere,
Yeah.
we had to figure out how to talk to Miss Ross without disrespecting her, but we still had to go ahead and get home when we were supposed to get home because if you just broke off of a conversation with Miss Ross
Mhm.
before you got home, somebody knew that you were quote unquote, hurting somebody's feelings on the
Mm,
corner.
yeah.
So although Cabrini Green was not laid out like the neighborhood was on the west side over on the Cicero area, you still had a sense of community. When you hit Cleveland, before you got to Mohawk, you talked to two, three people, and she lived in the row houses, not the high rises,
Mm.
right? So, but you had a sense of community um, initially.
I mean, I have to agree with that because even though I was young, I still remember certain things. And Cabrini Green, the rap behind that name, it doesn't. It's not a good. It's not a good. It's not a good reputation, as you say, right?
Mm.
But just, I mean, I don't remember as it being like a bad place. You
Hmm.
know, I remember my grandma used to plant flowers in her garden. I remember, just as you said, like
Hmm.
we could be walking down the street and she'll stop 3 or 4 times talking. Um, I also remember like the swing that was in the back, and all the kids used to be playing outside. So it was like a community for sure.
Yeah, I think that because we had Medea and there was a few other Medeas in the area, that was the exception to all the shift, the change.
Hmm.
Like again, when the fences went up, that's when in my experience during my time, that's when things started to change for the negative.
Yeah.
Right. We have a call coming in. Hey, caller, state your name and where you calling from.
My name is Ron. What's your name? From South Holland.
Oh, how you doing, Ron?
I'm doing fine. Okay.
Okay, how can I help you? Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Wait, good thing. I was calling regarding the up and down, up and going mobile dry cleaning service.
Okay.
Yeah, I was calling regarding that, and actually, just, been told that you guys had a online podcast, and I just want to share some good information on this up and going mobile dry cleaning service.
Okay, much
And
appreciated. So how do you like that service?
I enjoy it. I mean, the good thing about it is that they come to you. You don't go to them; they come to you. And the greater thing is that you pay them once they deliver your clothing. I plan on using them consistently with my clothes.
Okay.
Because I like the part that they call or I call, they'll come to your house. Or by the way, you live that in the stars, they land and come to your house. You pick up the clothes, and they give you about 3 days or something like that the most.
Okay.
And once they finish it, all you need to do is bring the clothes. You want to do it, and they do it, and I fucking take the clothes out the clothes.
We appreciate the call.
Okay.
We appreciate the call and much love to up and going cleaners. The
Oh
mobile
yeah.
cleaning service, they've been blowing the phone up. So Anthony McMath's doing something right. 219-200-2400. I appreciate the call. Uh, did you have any? Well, I tell you what. Make sure you keep this number and continue to talk about the cleaning service, but you can also talk about whatever else you feel you want to talk about when you call in on the show. It doesn't just have to be about the mobile cleaning. You can comment on the show when you listen to the show, whether it's this show or any other shows that you've come across. Please feel free to comment.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, thanks for the call. Holding
Thank
South Holland
you.
down.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow, that's a lot of calls for the mobile cleaning. So he's doing something right.
That's what's up.
But as we were talking about, um, Cabrini,
Hmm.
um, again, once the gates came up, the dynamics changed, and then during the time, and people have heard of COINTELPRO. Yes, it was real. Counterintelligence programs when it came to a lot of um, a lot of things that were uh, not stopped from coming into our community. The
Yeah.
guns and drugs, different things that aren't good for any community. Now, I want to be clear. I think it's important that we all take responsibility for the actions that others make in our community, and that we're able to change. And I think that it's a combination of things that allowed for our communities to go into default without with us not paying the necessary attention to different things, to include the resources not being there and available for us to upkeep the communities. And it's like, you know, I get it. There's no one silver bullet to solve a situation. But the question was asked to me, you know, what was Cabrini Green worth saving? And I would say yes. If you have the people that's dedicated to affect change by showing up to save such a beautiful place. When you look at the real estate's right in the middle of downtown Chicago.
Mm.
Uh, Still to this day, you still have row houses that are there that haven't sold or been torn down for whatever reason. But
I got an answer for that.
you have an answer for that.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure if this is correct, but um it's still up because actually the people like we own it.
Did not sell it yet.
So we just not doing anything with it. Um so it's they can't tear it down. They can't tear it down. They can't um resell it. They can't do anything with it unless, you sign over your rights for it. So whoever owns those properties or those houses, um yeah, they just sitting there.
So grandmother's house is Medea's house is still there off of Mohawk.
I did not know that.
It's still there. So we need to talk to some family folks and see. You need to
Oh
talk to your sister and
wow.
see if maybe she got something to do
But
with it
like
still being there.
you know that she has the rights to do something with that.
Absolutely. And that's actually
Well,
another show.
actually I do too.
You do. And that's another show.
Wait a minute.
So
Okay.
Discovery on the Nasha Harrison Show, Intellectual Radio.
It just
So
okay.
absolutely. And shout out to, Earl for bringing up, you know, the
Yeah.
Cabrini Greens. So we about to come into some discovery, and actually we will talk about that. So yes, you do have those rights because of that being your residence and things of that nature. And so now I want to talk about the inspiration and motivation again for your business. I don't know if you knew how much Keisha, your sister, was an artist with hair. Did you know about the hair situation with your sister? She when
Certain
she sees
parts.
us on the show talking about her before we had an opportunity to tell her that we was going to be on the show talking
Mhm.
about Keisha and her hair back in the 80s and all the people's hair that she was touching in the greens back in the 80s. I think she's going to feel some kind of way. So,
I know a little bit. I know that she did hair. I did not know that she did other people hair. I know she
absolutely.
did her hair and she did my hair, but
Okay. So, yeah, I'm not going to put your sister on blast in the negative, but she was one person. She, get her friends together and do their hair and things like that around the neighborhood. But here's my point in calling Keisha out.
mhm.
My point is that we have a lot of artists in our family.
Mhm.
Uncle Junior was a huge artist. Your cousin, my brother, he's an artist. We had Uncle John um, was an artist, but we had a lot of inspiration from not only Medea but also your grandfather, who allowed for the platform to be there.
Mm.
You know, as many kids as they had, you know, they allowed them to occupy their time doing something resourceful, not only just going to work, but actually expressing themselves through art, whether it was painting or whether it was sculptures, like again, your cousin, my brother, does sculpting and things of that nature, or hair, or
Mm.
just having a love for fashion. Of course, Uncle Junior had a love for fashion. Coldest cat I knew,
Wow.
as far as how he dressed. And then of course you were younger, so
Yeah.
you don't remember Uncle Junior, but I'm sure you've heard many stories about him.
Yes.
So tell us about your line again, as far as where we can find your boutique info. And do you have a brick and mortar, or is it online right now? Do you have an actual store people can come
Yeah,
into?
it's definitely online right now. It's up and running. It's um Apple of My Eye babyboutique.com. Um, you can go on my main page on my Facebook page. My name's Alicia Harrison, and it's attached to my on my Facebook page.
Okay, so favorite place to go in Chicago. Favorite place. Keep it clean, cousin. Keep it clean. Favorite place to
Favorite
go?
place to go? Oh,
Hold that thought.
okay. Let me think about it.
Hey, caller, welcome to the Nasha Harrison Show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Chicago. My name is Gina. I'm calling for the upgoing dry cleaner service.
Okay.
Um, I'm calling because I like that service and I like that we have a service that's coming out to your house to pick up your clothes. So I would like whoever got that service, I would like us to have more service like that. Keep up the service and ever keep going.
Okay. Well, thank you for the call. 219-200-2400. That's Anthony McMath's business. He's the owner of Up and Going. And I'm so glad that you
Yeah.
called.
No, that's the service. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. And you can also call in for other things besides the Up and Going cleaning service. You can call and check out the show, ask questions.
Okay, thank you. Real sure.
Keep the number 708-223-8953. Thank you for the call. He's getting much love, and I'm not mad. We doing something right. We're gonna call it the Nasha Harrison Up and Going Show.
I have to check them out.
No, but yeah, it's a wonderful service, and I'm glad that this is an example. This is the example of what this platform can do.
Okay.
He came on weeks ago, and he's always welcome to come on as you are. But this is an example of what intellectual radio does for the community. And again, whether it's the Nasha Harrison Show or all the other shows that you can find on this platform, it's a space for you to exercise your information to the people. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you got up and that you came out.
Yeah, me too.
So, but again, you were saying,
You was asking me where I like to go in Chicago. I could say Navy Pier. Navy Pier is it's a classic place to go. Um, I remember many memories just not having no money, just walking down Navy Pier and just seeing people shop and people like young people, old people, just it's perfect for me and it's close by the water, so I like water.
and it was very close to Cabrini Green, right? Ohio
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah.
You could walk right there from where we grew up, and I think that was one of the benefits of being right in the middle of that area. We got another
Oh.
call coming in. Hey, caller, welcome to the Nasha Harrison Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Anthony, Indiana.
Hey, how you doing? You hearing all the
I'm
calls
doing all
coming in? I'm good. Good to hear from you. It's good to hear from a lot of your customers. Obviously, you're doing something right. So I'm glad that they're calling in talking about the business. How you feel about that?
I'm doing good. I called in to congrat your cousin on her baby boutique. And
Oh,
I
thank
thank the
you.
customers for calling in. And that's what I wanted to hear, people being satisfied. I'm trying to satisfy the people and, do my service as I can do and put a smile on their face when I leave and put a smile on their face when they come back.
Well, that's good. I joked earlier. I said that we need to call it the Nasha Harrison Up and Going Show. Everybody that's calling is calling in, blowing up the business, and that's a good thing. As
It
I was saying
is.
to the people, this is what this platform is for, and I'm glad that you have your customers calling in, talking about the business, and I'm also glad that you have taken advantage of this platform. So this is what it's for, and I'm glad that this is what we're using it for. So I'm glad that you're calling in. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you letting me use your platform. And if you do think about that Up and Going the Nasha Show, I like that.
Not a problem. I have a lot to learn about dry cleaning and all that, but we'll talk about it. It just may be in the future. So thank you for the call and be safe.
Thank you.
All right. Much love. So that's a good
Mhm.
thing. Again, platform is a wonderful platform. But yeah, so the distance between Cabrini Green and Navy Pier,
Mhm.
not that far apart. And again, I spoke about the real estate. Right? So
Yeah.
I think that whoever, this is my opinion, all right, the thoughts and the opinions that are expressed on the Nasha Harrison Show does not actually express the thoughts and opinions of the Intellectual Radio Show. So Just to let y'all know before I throw that opinion out there.
Hmm.
So here's my opinion. My opinion is that for those who actually own the remaining row houses of Cabrini Green, that area, that there should be some type of petition put out to have a conversation. Not a petition to make moves on what's going on, but to have a conversation about those remaining owners of those properties.
Mm.
I think a conversation should be had about what to do with that piece of prime real estate. And I think that if you're holding on to something that you can make better for your family and better for the community, that you should move on it. Earlier, before you got here, I talked about time and how time doesn't necessarily change a person's condition or situation. It's you making a choice to make that change, whether it's 2023, 2024, beyond. Come up with a plan to change the situations that are going on in your life, because just because it's another year doesn't mean that things automatically change.
Exactly.
And I think that prime real estate would be an example of trying to get everybody together to have a conversation about what's going to be done with that remaining property right in the middle of Chicago, right in the middle of
Yeah.
downtown Chicago.
I mean, I
Right?
have a suggestion what we can do with it.
Right?
I mean, all these, homeless people out here, I mean, why not fix it up and, let them stay there for a year or two, get on their feet. I mean, I think that's perfect. Is giving back.
We talked about on a couple of shows before, we talked about going beyond the holidays,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
A lot of people feel guilted into doing things for others during the holidays, but what about beyond the holidays?
true.
And so if you actually have an idea that would sustain, you know, health in our communities, especially for those who are less fortunate, issues with having homes, the homeless.
Yeah,
Hey, I think that's good on you and others that think that way. See, that speaks to your heart. That
yeah,
speaks to, what you want to do for the community. What's fortunate about that is that it could work if people want that to work. What's unfortunate is that a lot of people don't balance, making money with doing good in the community. And if you can reach that balance, I think it's a good thing, because you should never have to put yourself in a certain deficit while you're trying to move forward to help others.
yeah.
There's a difference between sacrifice, and there's a difference between between sacrificing um, your resources for something without a vision of what's to come beyond that, right? So if you sacrifice today, you should be able to gain some way in the future. And if that means that your gain is helping others, then it's a win-win. So
Mm.
I think that's a great idea. So you're gonna explore that.
Um,
You're gonna have some conversations about that property and possibly
yeah, you gonna
moving
help me out
forward.
with that,
I
Gus?
got you.
Okay,
I got you. I
okay.
think the people watching, and this is out there forever. I got her. So if she wants to start something like that, a petition about having a conversation for those properties within that community, within the heart of Chicago, the city, downtown area of Chicago, I'll have that conversation with you while you're putting business forward concerning your boutique as well. So let's
Okay.
continue to talk about that as well. All right. So
Okay.
again, 708 223 8953 for the Nasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Uh, give your number again, Leisha. Give your information again for your business. How can people patronize your business?
You can find me on Facebook. My name is Alicia Harrison. My business page is attached to my business. My business page is attached to my real page. As
Okay.
you could say,
Personal page.
my personal
There
page.
you go.
Thank you.
No
Thank you very
problem.
much. And you can find my boutique online at Apple of My Eye babyboutique.com.
Okay. Apple of my eye babyboutique.com.
Yes.
Is there a number attached or no?
Uh, I don't like it's a business number, but
Okay.
I can't
So
remember it
it's
offhand.
work in progress.
It's work in progress.
Okay. So thank you for joining us on the Nasha Harrison Show. Alicia, I really do appreciate you coming through to
Thank
speak
you.
about your business.
Hmm.
This won't be the last time.
No.
All right. So
No.
it was a good first time.
Yes.
So tune in next week, Wednesday from 8 to 9 on the Nasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Thank you for joining us. And once again, make the change. Don't worry about the year being 2024. The difference is going to be based on what you put time into make it happen. All right. Thank you for joining us. See you next time on the Nasha Harrison Show.
I am, so I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, had nowhere to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto, got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal,